Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol IDEX, Ideanomics Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Ideanomics Inc. has actually had a run, right? It actually ran up, fell back down, and it ran right back up above the resistance. It finally used the resistance as a support here towards the last couple hours of the day. It ran early on in the day up to 225. From that point forward, fell down to about 208 and recovered and stayed above the 50-day moving average and is sitting up here at the 220 mark. I mean, it's still going in that sideways movement, but you could see that the bulls are really fighting to hold themselves up, and if they continue, they could be on their way to newer highs. And if we put here the MACD and we look at other indicators, you can actually see that the bulls are actually working hard on bringing this back up. So you could see here how it also brought itself real high early in the day. It dipped and now it's picking back up. So if this momentum can continue and they can continue these dark bars here and work their way up, as you could see here, slowly growing and then working its way up, and they keeping them in darker areas and shades rather than lighter ones, then the bulls can continue this momentum and work their way up to newer highs and get back over further away from the 50-day moving average and hit newer resistance levels. So that right there is showing indications. And if we also look here at the other moving average, we could see that it's slightly above it. It picked itself up, and here we are seeing it run up. So if the bulls can hold this up, I do want to state to everybody that this has potential to continue to hit newer highs and newer resistance levels. So we got to watch this closely. A few indicators are indicating that there is potential to work its way up, but it doesn't always signify that. But I do want to point it out, and I want you guys to pay close attention to these numbers based off of what we see, and also those indicators based off of what it's showing. So we're going to look at the highest point before the fall, the lowest point in the fall before the recovery, and it's sitting at 220. So what's our 50-day moving average? Our 50-day moving average is 211. If we're sitting above it, we're in bullish territory. If we're sitting below it, we're in bearish territory, right? So it's super important to keep that in mind and write that number down. As long as the bulls continue to work their way up and hold above it, they're on their way up to newer highs. So I want to talk about support first, because that is the lowest point before this started to run, and it fell right back to it. So everything that it ran up and went right back down towards the middle of the day. So let's look at it right here. So it's 208, super important number. If the 50-day moving average gets broken through, you can watch how this stock is reacting between 211 and 208, and are the bears tearing this one down to newer lows, or are the bulls actually bringing this back up and bringing it up to newer highs and newer resistance levels? So super important for every single investor to keep that in mind and pay very close attention to how the stock is reacting if it breaks through the support and also the 50-day moving average, because now we're hitting newer lows. And if 208 gets broken through, the next support level would be down here at 201. But before getting there, 208, and you have the 50-day moving average, to pay close attention to the behavior. How quickly are the bears tearing this down, or are the bulls trying to reappear? Now, on the other hand, we have our resistance, and this resistance level is 224. If 224 gets broken through and turned into a support, plus all the indicators are showing that this has momentum here. Obviously, the MACD is showing that. The other moving averages are showing that, and it's above the 50-day moving average. If the bulls can break through 224, they could certainly turn that into a support, continue the momentum, and hit newer highs and take off from there. So we're going to have to watch this closely. But before even saying, okay, this is going to continue, those indicators are showing that, and we have here the resistance of 224 that needs to be broken through. So yes, the indicators can show that, and if this runs up to 223 and it doesn't break resistance, it can actually turn around in the other direction. So that's why it's very important that this resistance is turned into a support, plus the indicators. This does have potential to work its way up and most likely hit newer highs. Doesn't always mean that, but we need to watch it. The good thing is we're slightly above the 50-day moving average right now, and we're going to have to watch the behavior of this stock very closely. So the bulls need to break through this resistance to continue the momentum and not have the 50-day moving average catch up to the price. And we need to watch closely how this is reacting as it gets closer to the 50-day moving average or the support if it heads in that direction. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets. On these dates, the charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates, the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video, I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88, and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02, and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates. And even on these dates, there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, and my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.